video, we'll see how to find the big O for a function. Suppose we have this function f and we have to find order of this function. That is, we have to find a function g such that f of n is big O of g of n. The rules for doing this are simple, but before using those rules, we'll try to understand the logic behind them. When value of n is 10, the value of function f is this. Now in this value, the contribution of this term 3n square is 84.5%. Contribution of this term 4n is 11%. And contribution of this constant 15 is 4%. In this table, we can see the contribution of these three different terms at different values of n. So we can see that as the value of n grows, this term 3n square dominates the value of the function. And this smaller term and this constant become insignificant. This is because n square grows more rapidly than n. And this constant doesn't grow at all. Now in big O analysis, we are concerned with the value of the function as n becomes very large. And here we have seen that when n becomes large, the fastest growing term in the function becomes dominant. And the lower terms and the constants become insignificant. So we can just ignore them. So for finding big O for a function, we just have to keep the fastest growing term of the function and we can discard all the lower terms and constants. So we got the first rule for finding big O. We have to keep the fastest growing term and discard all the lower terms and constants. Now the second rule is that we can ignore the coefficients of the terms. That is, if a function f is c times function g, where c is a constant, then we can say that f is order of g. For example, if f is equal to 5n square, then we can ignore this coefficient 5 and say that f is order of n square. Similarly, here we can ignore this 67 and say that f is order of n. Here is the proof of this rule. Now, in the example that we saw in the previous slide, we have function f equal to 3n square plus 4n plus 15. Now, according to the first rule, we ignore these two terms. So, we are left with this term. In this term also, we can ignore this coefficient 3 and we can say that fn is order of n square. Now, the next rule is simple. If we have a function f that is constant, then we can say that f is order of 1. For example, all these functions are order of 1. The proof of this rule is very simple. Now the next rule states that while computing the O notation, base of the logarithm is not important. For example, for both these functions, we will just say that f is order of log n without specifying any base. Now let's see the reason for this. We know that logarithms with different base are related by a constant factor. This is the constant factor. Now big O ignores constants. So that is why there is no need to associate any base with the logarithms while specifying the order of a function. In algorithm analysis, we will mostly encounter logarithms with base 2. Now we will take some functions and find big O for them using these rules. We will use this list to identify the fastest growing term in the function. Now this is a constant function, so it is order of 1. In this function, this n cube is the fastest growing term. So this is order of n cube. In this function, this n is the fastest growing term. So this is order of n. In this function, this n square is the fastest growing term. So this is order of n square. In this function, this n log n is the fastest growing term. So this is order of n log n. There is no need to specify the base. In this function, this 2 raised to the power n is the fastest growing term. So this is order of 2 raised to the power n. In this function, the 6 raised to the power n is the fastest growing term. So this is order of 6 raised to the power n. In this function, this factorial n is the fastest growing term. So this is order of factorial n.